Hello everyone, today I am going to show you how I go about doing a scrapbook page. So I'm going to be using Bloom & Wonder, which is available in my shop. It is an 8x8 premium paper pad by First Edition Papers. Now I have already broken into this page, to this book, and I'm going to have a bit of a here's one I made earlier moment. But I just wanted to show you the paper that I'm using mainly is this one, which has the green on the back, green speckle on the back and the floral on the front, or vice versa. So you do get 3 of those pages in the book, and I have already used 2 when I was doing my little practice run, and then I realised that I was going to need an extra one if I was to do the whole thing again. So you'll see anyway. And then this pink circular speckly kind of thing as well. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way you do it. I started with my green page, and then the second paper I cut on a diagonal and made this. So I cut it on a diagonal and then stuck the floral on top of the green speckle, and I ended up with this. Now I was originally intending to do it this way, but when I've played around with the layout a bit, I've decided that I want it to be top heavy because I'm going to have more going on underneath with the text and things, so I think it'll balance it out nicely. Then I'm going to cut this down a smidge. So I'm going to take 1 centimetre off 2 edges, a side edge and a top edge. And you still have a nice even square when you do that. Then you're going to use the pink as a frame, and it's going to go on top like this. So I'm going to use my double-sided tape. Lay that down. So I don't use lots of tape. I tend to just use 3 pieces because I don't find there's a need to cover the whole thing and make it stuck really well. I put my scrapbook pages inside plastic wallets, so they're fairly well protected anyway. So we're just going to centralise that so that you've got a nice border going round. It just gives it a bit of extra visual interest. Okay, so I've just developed these frames, so these will be available, well, they should be available in the shop by the time this goes live. So I've got 2 frames and 2 little 2x3 pictures to go in it. I printed these on my mini printer. It's my HP, is it called iZink, I think. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want one of those, but that's what I'll print these mini photographs on. And then they're going to be overlaid on top like this. So what I'm going to do is just use some washi tape to hold those in place for now, just while I play around with the position, because the photographs themselves have a sticky back. But in this case I'm not going to be using that, I'm just going to stick them on and then stick it all down together when I decide on the position. Now I'm seeing this black and white with the colourful background, I really like that. Might give me an idea for a future one. Okay, so I'm going to place the photographs at a jaunty angle like so. Now, the next thing that I've got is I've got the title. And I've got some text. I'm sorry, it's taken me ages to pick everything up because I've had to cut all my nails off. They're all getting a bit shabby, so I cut them all down, but now I can't pick anything up. There's just a little bit of text that I'm going to cut and pop underneath as well. I just think that gives it a bit more visual interest and it keeps you looking at the page for longer. So these are going to be stuck down at an angle like that, as I say. So I'm going to stick those down straight away. I'm going to finish this video with a voiceover because I kept having problems with tape and things like that. It was taking me a while to get it done, and I quickly realised that the audio that I was recording was not going to make any sense, so I decided to stop talking altogether and I would do a voiceover instead. So at the moment I'm just removing the backing on the double-sided tape, and I'm using a spellbinder's tool which is designed to get all of the small pieces out of die cuts, but I use this for all kinds of things, especially when I'm making journals. I mean, it's a good replacement for fingernails, but also I like to use it to poke the holes when I'm doing the binding on my journals. So I'm just arranging the photographs, making sure I've got them exactly where I want them before I stick them right down. Now, I could have added the flowers before I added the photographs, but I just like to make sure that I've got everything where it is going to be in the final thing, and I find that harder to do when you do the flowers first. So I'm adding the title now, and I'm using this Quickie pen from, I forget the name now, what's it called? Sakura. And it is really handy for sticking small tiny pieces onto your scrapbook layouts and on card making and things as well. But I did find that some pieces had to be restuck, and I used a bit of tacky glue at the end, which I don't show on the camera, but I did have to add some towards the end of this. But for the time being, it did the job, and just while I was positioning everything, this was a nice easy way to stop making a mess with all the tacky glue, because sometimes it's a bit thick and gloopy and I find it really tricky to get it to behave itself. This is really a fine tip, so that when you apply it you can get right to the ends of, like on the ends of these words here, for example. And now for the flowers. I'll speed this up because it was quite a time consuming part of the video. I'll just give you an example flower here. It does take a little while to dry as well, this Sakura Quickie glue. Now, these flowers and leaves and foliage are designs that I made myself, and then I cut them out on the Cricut machine. So I've made these available in my digital shop, which is Clarty Hands Digital, so that you can buy the files yourself if you want to and use those in your own layouts. They're handy for all kinds of things like card making and scrapbook designs. So you'll just be able to download those files and then use your own cutting machine or any kind of plotting machine that you may have. I've never tried an embroidery machine before, but I'm sure they would work for those because they are SVG files. So this kind of design looks good when you go over the top with plenty of pictures, plenty of flowers, plenty of foliage, and then it looks like the photographs are bursting out of the page a bit more. Now I am adding some of the text. So I did, in a different font, I did the word always, so that the title reads Be You Always. And then underneath, I'm going to add a small typed message. So I just wrote this on Microsoft Word and printed it out with a normal printer on normal paper. And then I'm just going to chop it to size using a pair of scissors. Now I'm placing the text where I want it. So I'm laying it out first and then I'll stick it down when I've decided. So you can see from this why I've chosen to do the green as the bottom left corner, because if I had used the floral in the bottom left along with the text, I think it would have been a bit too much. So that's why I've done a plainer print on the bottom. I'm sticking those into place with the glue again. And it's always nice to have a little something to read on a scrapbook page, I find. And then once I've finished this bit, we're pretty much done. So there you have it, a nice 8x8 scrapbook page with the Bloom and Wonder papers and some of my own digital designs that have been cut out on the Cricut. So let me know what you think, and I shall see you very soon for another video. Thanks a lot. Bye!